So Natalie's gonna wrap it up.
Showing properly. So for any of the resources that we discussed today, you can go to our online resource guide for shellfish aquaculture at shellfish.afis.ufl.edu. When you're on our home page, if you scroll down to shellfish, underneath you'll find hard clams. You can click that and come right to the clam seed project. This home page will describe everything we discussed today, give you a little brief overview, the scope of work that was performed. But within that, we have each of our tiles. So the first one is going to be your project reports. Again, we provide each facility with a code to preserve anonymity, but that's where you can go to see the year 1 and year 2 stuff. Additionally, we have all the project resources, which are those guides. So any of the heavy metal guides, your water composition guides, and any fact sheets that we can provide on temperature, DO, alkalinity. If you just click on them, they'll open right up and you'll be provided that information. If you're interested in any of the equipment and supplies that were utilized, we offer each device where you can buy it, that contact information for the vendor, along with the specific procedures that we used for the study. So you can learn all about each individual handheld piece of equipment, the continuous loggers that we used. We used DO, pH, conductivity, and a temperature hobo. We also have procedures for nutrient sampling, where you can send them to, bacteriological sampling, if you'd like to perform that in your own hatchery and nursery, as well as phytoplankton sampling. Now, if you're like me and you don't care for reading a bunch of procedures, you can go to our video segment. The first one is going to be bacteriological. So that's what you'll learn, where you will learn how to streak plates, collect your water sample, and then even interpret them. And then if you purchase any of the equipment we utilize in our study, we have procedures on how to use that as well in video format. Next up, we have references. So in addition to all the resources we provided from our work, we've gone through and listed out some additional references, some of which include water chemistry work that was done for oyster hatcheries and additional pesticide analysis as well. Now, I would say the best part of our project is the problem solving guide, because again, we have the baseline data for year 1 and year 2 at our project facilities that can serve as references. But if you're having issues at your facility, this guide kind of offers you a step-by-step way to determine what the possible causes of your issue might be, along with resources on how to troubleshoot it. So for instance, I'm going to go through the first one, which is water quality. So have you measured the salinity and temperature of your culture water? There are other important parameters to consider, including DO, pH, and alkalinity. So you've been at it a long time, you know your values are good, they're acceptable. If you click on that, it'll say to proceed to the next step, which is water suitability. Maybe you took these values, but you're not sure what they really mean. Are they within an acceptable range? What could they be? So you can click on that, and each of these are going to be resources that when you click on them will open up to your resource guides and additional references and links. Now, if you took these values and you know they're not within an acceptable range, you can click on that and get your troubleshooting procedures. So we actually have an additional fact sheet that we're currently working on right now. This is the draft version of it, but looking at your pH and your alkalinity and calcium carbonate. Lastly, if you have no idea how to do any of this water quality stuff and equipment, don't know where to start, you can click on that and you'll get your drop down for your equipment vendor list and your video resources. So that's just the water quality example, but it'll take you through the water suitability, which is your ions, your harmful metals, IOCs, VOCs, pesticides, bacteriological, other diseases, food supply, which we actually break down between hatchery and nursery. So if you're looking at hatchery, we actually provide a workshop that was done by Gary Wickfors at the Milford Lab, which goes over clean algal culture techniques as well. If you're looking at the nursery, that's where we'll link to the what do clams eat and the phytoplankton reports. Lastly, we have resources to look at additional management practices within your facility. And if all else fails, if you've gone through this whole entire list and haven't found a solution, you can contact us, your project team, and ask us questions. So that's just a brief overview of everything you can find on our website. I can take any questions.
Want to mention that all presentations at this workshop, as well as a video of the workshop, will be posted at this webpage in a couple of weeks as well.
Yeah, so that'll be the video will be under videos, and then all other workshop materials will be under project resources.